Good afternoon, everyone. This is James Milligan here, aka the Quintastic One. This isn't an official video blog or anything that I actually plan on doing in the future for YouTube for an actual web series, but I figured that I saw an interesting video on YouTube today that I would like to, comment on, possibly elaborate on, and, just essentially share my thoughts. I'll share the link in the description below in case you want to see the original video. But basically, what I saw was this woman, this young woman, basically getting ready to go out, into this big beautiful world, as she put it. Basically, was just posting a quick little like 4 or 5 minute video with some life advice for her fellow women. Now, she had mentioned at first that it was all about she was checking her Facebook feed, and people that like ex-boyfriends and girlfriends were always mentioning like bitches and hoes and like essentially just insulting their exes and things like that because they're such horrible people. We know how it is. If you had a relationship and a bad breakup, you always know that there's a whole lot of vitriol when it comes to the breakup of a relationship, and people say horrible, nasty things about each other. Now, the the majority of these girls' points I actually really enjoyed and I agreed with. There's some things I didn't agree with, but we'll go ahead and go with the stuff that I actually like first. Because I believe that a lot of what she had to say had a lot to do with some truth, but also it could have been presented in a little bit more of a respectful manner, rather than, calling, women like stupid bitches for like not agreeing with her and stuff like that. I think that there could be other ways that she could say the same thing and still put across a very beautiful message. One of the things that she said that I agreed with was the very fact that rather than being angry at like your ex out of a bad breakup and like saying it's all their fault and how horrible they are and things like that and just talking a whole bunch of trash generally, I think we should more, after a really bad breakup, if we can, if we can find a way to like count to 10 and take a deep breath and actually think within ourselves, what happened wrong on my end. I think that we could actually grow as people a lot easier. It would make it a lot easier to help realize that, yeah, this person that I broke up with or that broke up with me did some horrible things and really, broke my heart. But what can I do better next time? How could I pick myself up? How could I basically move on knowing that these are the mistakes I've made in the past and I'm not going to do that again? I think that would be a very good exercise for us to do, something for us to reflect on, not necessarily always blaming them, but actually seeing what went wrong with me. And I think that that's something that she touched up on that is very useful and very, accurate in a lot of ways. Another thing that she said that I agreed with throughout the video was the fact that I'm trying to rattle my brain here because I don't have like the video right in front of me to watch again. Um, Another thing that she had said that I agreed with was the fact that essentially take an interest in your boyfriend or girlfriend or wife or husband. Like, take an interest in their interests. Like, if your guy likes to go paintballing, learn how to paintball with them. If your girl, like, as weird as it sounds, if she likes to crochet, then there's nothing wrong with you learning how to crochet with your girl. Basically take it. I would say instead of just focusing on the fact that the girl should take an interest in the guy's point of views and interests. I think this is something that could be more expanded on for everyone. And I think we all could really benefit from just in a relationship rather than just being comatose and satisfied with our relationship and just really doing nothing but laying around. I think we could take an actually vested interest in each other's interests and come together with some bonding experiences that way. That brings me into my other thing that I agreed with on her video, is that she had mentioned that a lot of girls, they stop really looking out for themselves, like in a relationship. Once you get into like a boyfriend or a husband or like a stable relationship, then you stop really being about you. And I think we should never really stop being about us. Obviously with a relationship or a child or things like that, there are more important things that you have to be able to focus on the relationship, focus on your families and stuff like that and your friends, but also always have your me time, always have your alone time, whether it's a girl's night out, guy's night out, things like that. Just always seek to have your alone time and be able to take care of yourself, because that's really what we all liked about each other in the first place, right? When you're in a relationship and you have a strong, independent woman there and like really catches your eye and you really want to get to know her and stuff like that, you don't want that to change just because you're in a relationship. You don't want her to like, necessarily settle down. You want all those things that made you fall in love in the first place, and I really like that. Um, basic things that I just disagreed with necessarily with this girl's video was just the overall tone of it. As I mentioned earlier, like, addressing the girl as saying, like, stupid bitch, if you disagree, if you don't, like, say suck a dick and stuff like that more regularly, then it's like, you just being a stupid bitch and to learn. And it's like, that I don't think is going to reach a lot of people. Like, it's not going to have a proper message that people are going to get behind, because obviously nobody likes being talked down to and demoralized. So, I mean, I just feel like the overall message that she's trying to say could be a little bit more respectful. Another one of the things that I didn't really agree with was the fact that she had said that girls, you just need to, like, let your guy go out to like the strip club, or like, let him go clubbing, like, let him do whatever he wants, and then if he cheats on you or gets led astray or whatever, then it's something you did wrong. And I don't necessarily agree with that. I mean, I'm not saying that girls should be having their husbands not going out and having a good time with their friends and stuff like that, but it's like, if you're actively sending them into an environment like a strip club where it fosters, people being capable of making mistakes and things like that, then obviously, it's not your fault for other reasons. It would be like your fault for allowing that to happen in the first place if they went to the strip club. People have to be held accountable for their own actions. So, I mean, if you're cheating on your significant other, then you need to come clean and essentially sort this thing out for better or worse. There's nothing worse in the world than having a relationship end due to being cheated on, and especially for a very long time. So, I mean, I don't necessarily think that we should just have complete and total freedom to where, like, we do whatever the fuck we want. There is limits. There is, things that, like I said earlier, what we had to do in a relationship to be healthier. You can't be, the bro my god kind of guy that goes out, and drinks natty ices and, like, bangs slam pieces all day, stuff like that. So really, there comes a time where you have to have, like, a measure of responsibility while also having freedom to do other things that you like to do. And so, overall, like I said, I'm going to post the link to the original video in the description. I've already went way over, almost double the amount of time that she spent on her video, so I'm probably overthinking things a little bit, overanalyzing things a little bit, but that's okay, because I just felt like some of these points needed to be elaborated on, some of these points needed to be, brought in a more positive light to where people wouldn't necessarily, get the wrong kind of message. Because a lot of what she's saying is truth, and a lot of what she says is good stuff, but it's presented in such a way that I don't think a lot of girls are going to listen to what she has to say because of how she presented it. And that's, essentially my thoughts on the subject right there. Hopefully we'll get to start on an actual video blog or something of that matter in the future. But until next time, stay just Quintastic.